Good morning. Today we're going to discuss about HTML forms. In this case, you can see we're going to discuss about simply these points for HTML form element, which include the input, label, and select, the ID, name, action attributes, and some of the types and attributes that we'll be using in the HTML form. Now let's first create an HTML file, form.html, and inside the exclamation mark tab. This will only appear by using VS Code. And now let's change the title to HTML form part 1. Let's see if the change has been made. Yeah, HTML form part 1. And then inside the body tag, we're going to create our form. Now create the form tag. Inside the form tag, now we're going to create a label tag. Now what you might wonder, what is the label tag? Let's see. First for the label tag, let's say name. In here, I'm going to create a student registration system to make it much more easier to understand. So the label tag, and for the now after creating a label tag, you can see the changes being made. First name, and for the input field, let's provide input. Now after doing this, yeah, now this is a simple HTML form. To make it much more not complex, actually, to make it more workable, we need to add some more attributes and some elements in this case. For example, if you want to provide you need to provide a type for this input, which will be text in this case. So it will only accept text values, string values in letters, numbers, symbols, likewise. And there is another variable called name, which say it acts a variable, but not in HTML. It will act as a variable when you are using a server-side language like PHP. For now, it will be useless because we are not going to discuss about PHP in this case. And the other tag is ID. For that, first let's change the name a bit. First name, name, and in this case, you might wonder what is that. This will be used for CSS if you want to add a style, or it will be used in JavaScript if you want to change the context or find the document by element. Likewise, now we have created a very simple HTML form. Yeah, you can provide anything and it will work. You can see the form has taken the values. I will discuss about this in a later of this video. First, let's create the HTML form. Now let's create another field for this first name. Let's create this last name, and I'm going to change the name as the last here. Make the variable unique, and then let's see whether it's been added or not. Yeah, it's added, but you want to put this last name label and this input field underneath the first name label. So just for that, you can simply use a BR tag or line breaker, or if you are using sorry, if you are using CSS, you can use the margins to make it under the first label. But for in the simpler case, you can simply use like this. I mean, you need to add more space, so add another BR tag and it will work quite sharp. Yeah, and then let's add another field called age. So add these BR tags as well, and add the next label age. Let's add the type as the number because we want to provide the age as a number value. Age. I just wanted to make sure these are distinguishable, that's why I use underscore. Yeah, so not much reason. Now you can see you cannot input. I input a text value. For some reason, it actually managed to input text value. I think that's a bug. But if you try to input any text value, it will work. I mean, if you yes, there's some bug. For the e value, it will only yes. There is reason why you can put e numbers because in computers there's number type called these e numbers for exponential values. So you can provide these numbers, that's why. Okay, don't worry about that. We can provide any number, and here let me show an example for an exponential number. For exponential, for this presenting in scientific notation, we need to use the e-value. For example, let's say I want to display this number. So I want to display 56.89. To display this, I could simply provide 56.89 e minus 2. This will be a similar case that will be using the e-values, I think. No, I actually made a mistake. It's actually E2. So, no, E1, I think. Yeah, E1. Just, I forgot to add. Now, if you see, if we provide like this, it's going to represent this value by 56.89. This is equal to having like 5.6x9 multiplied by 10 to power 1. Yeah, it's likewise. So no need to concern about that. Now we can just simply enter values. You can use this to increase the values or decrease the values. I mean, we can use JavaScript to make sure it will accept negative values. For now, let's don't fix that part. Now let's see what else we can do. And so some of the types, and let's provide the input type for the gender. Let's provide input type. Let's say, first of all, a label. Let's say gender. In here, I'm going to provide input type as radio. This will add a radio buttons. Name as gender. ID as gender. And for the value for this input field, I'm going to add, let's say male. You need to be inside the double braces. Female, in this case, female, other. Yeah, these don't need to have the different types of variables. It will be kind of inconvenient, because when you are using PHP, it will be easy, because when you are using radio button, it will only take a single input, so a single variable name to distinguish them is enough. Let's see whether it's worked or not, and provide BR tag for the next line. We didn't provide BR tags because we want to keep these as in the same line. See, yeah. And we have come into an issue. Yes. The issue is it doesn't show which is the gender. I assume that I think it needs to have labels. Yeah. So there's a small issue I have made. Let's see what we can do about this here. And we're going to add a BR tag to cut this line. And in here, let's add male, female, other. Yeah, now it's worked like a charm. Male, female, and other. Okay, now let's go to the other part, the checkboxes. Inside the checkboxes, I think we can choose multiple statements using as checkboxes. Let's see. For the checkbox, let's say it checks whether of your education level. Saying education. For this, I'm going to copy this part, paste it. Let's say under graduate. I believe it's correct. Graduate. Other qualifications. Let's change this as for checkboxes. Check. Let's change this as education. I mean, in this case, we don't even need this value part because it was not shown. Sorry. And let's see whether it's worked or not. Yeah, it worked. Education, I think we need to add the VR tag to make it look more clearer. Yes, undergraduate, you can add more. Yes, I mean, if you are doing 2 degrees and you have graduated one, you can provide graduate and undergraduate one. Don't take this too logically. And let's see what we can do later from here. And the next part that we can perform is the select list. For that, select. Inside the select statement, we can add options. Yeah, it's going to provide a drag and drop list. Let's say for the first step, let's say let's say the degrees that they are going to apply. For the select, let's provide a label apply. Let's see whether, let's say C degree. Let's copy and paste this. CS degree and IT degree. They're going to apply this. This will be shown in the options. In here, you need to provide this in as the values as well. Inside here, let's, because when the option is correct, it will going to pass the value inside here. SC. IT. CS. It's pretty much it. Yeah, you can see this. For the label, we need to provide a label. So degree. It's going to delete this. We need to add the BR tag. Oh no, we don't need the BR tag. Yeah. Okay, so you can choose the degree. You can uncheck the box as well. The last but not least, the input type is the text area variable. Let's provide a, say, your message here for the label. And inside the label, we're going to provide an input area, text area, which will be same as the text, but you can type a paragraph here. The text area will be quite larger. Say your message here, your message, your message, and say it's kind of, you need to address the rows and columns. Say for the rows, 10 columns. Should work. I think there's some issue. Let's see. I found the issue. I'm done. It is not an input type, it's just a tag. Input type text area. Now let's see. Yeah, yes. So now after this, you need to provide a button to submit the form. For that, we need to use input type submit value as this. I want to use the button to show register as the name, the button name, and ID as name as register, ID as register, and I need a reset button as well, typed as reset, reset. It doesn't need a name. It's pretty much it. You are done. Yeah. What do you mean by the reset? I mean, if you add the values and you are too lazy to delete, go and backspace the values, you can simply click the reset button. It will clear all the field values here. After clicking register button, it will send this file into a PHP file, which will be defined inside the form element as form tag as inside the action attribute. Now, in this case, we are not going to discuss about that about PHP files, so we are not going to include that. And for the method, we can use get or set, get or post method. So using get method, when you pass a value, it will be shown inside the URL. But if you use a post method, it will be not shown. You can say it's not shown in the URL. It's used a different method to send the values to the PHP file. After sending PHP file, it will use the file to insert in the database or do whatever it decides. And pretty much this is pretty much it. And if you have any question, please make sure to comment down below. And thank you for watching.